What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Ethereum, and we're going to be looking at Ethereum on the 1 week time frame. So each candle here is going to represent 1 week. We're sitting at $1,000 right now. We're down about 0.31%. There's a few different things I want to point out today, both bullish and bearish on the 1 week time frame, and we're also most likely going to dig into the 1 day time frame as well. So if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you all being here with me today, and let's dig into this. So right now where we're at, if we zoom out, you can see about $1,400 is going to be our high right in this area. Now, as we're looking at the candlestick that's forming here on the 1 week time frame, it is basically a high wave candle is what we're looking at. It's like a longer spinning top candle. It has longer wicks. Now we have to wait for the weekly close, but one thing I want you to be cautious of is after one of these very long green candles, if we do end up getting some type of doji or some type of bearish candlestick pattern, you're going to want to be careful in that area, because many times when you get some of these topping candles after a long green candle, it'll show it's time to correct and cool down a little bit, just like we had back in this area. When we corrected and cooled down, it was about 6 weeks or so, we ended up losing 36%. You can see on the backside here, when we pumped really hard, we ended up dumping 67%. So these dumps sometimes can be really fast and aggressive, and they can last anywhere from about a week to 6 weeks is what you're looking for. So if we do end up getting some type of retracement, the support areas I'd look at, I have an alarm at $852 would be an area, and then it would be down around $750, then to around that 605. Those are the three areas that I'm looking at if we do get a really nice retracement for Ethereum, because remember, this market needs to breathe as well. Just like a human, I've talked about this before, when you sprint as hard as you can, you're going to have to stop, take a breath, and then you're going to move again. Same thing with the markets, and we want to see that. I would love to see Ethereum cool down a little bit, because I think it'd be healthy for us to break through that $1,400 when the RSI's, in the 60s or 70s as opposed to up in the 90s, because that could just lead to a quick break and then a fail right through it. And then we have to bust back through it again, and it'll take heavy volume. So these are things you want to look at and pay attention to. If you're a shorter term trader, not financial advice, a swing trader, I think trailing stop losses are one of the best things you can do. Lock and profit. Then when it dumps, have your buy order set down there, because you can get those really long wicks and you can get lucky sometimes. Like over in here, if you would have had buy orders down around that 20 EMA right there, which we typically defend in uptrends, you would have caught that and you would have been moving to the upside there. So even putting buy orders back down around this $600, $650, $700, you may catch some wicks before we get moving again to the upside. And that's how I like to play this market, at least. That's something I'm looking at. But typically when we do get up into the RSI on the 1 week time frame, and it gets up to about that 90 and above, that's when you can see back in here, that's when you typically get those sell-offs or corrections that will start. We already broke through the 80 on the RSI, which is a typical spot where we'll get a reversal. The stock right now is at 198, so we're basically just pegged out, in that overbought territory right now. And as we work our way through the time frames, if we go to the 1 day time frame, take a look at this. You can see right up in here these really long wicks, and we basically have a doji candle that's forming. Now we'll have to wait for the daily candle close, but if we did have a candle close like that, what that shows is caution or warning that we may start to have some selling off process or correcting. Right now, the volatility stop on the 1 day time frame would put you around $908. So what that's saying is, and this is just TradingView calculating it, that's where you'd put your stop loss. And if we break down through that, we'd start looking at lower price buying opportunities down around that $750, $840. Now this is Ethereum. And guys, that's why I think one of the best things to do is, do long-term investing, but maybe have 25% of a trading account and learn new strategies and taking profits and try to build that crypto account without having to go into your bank account. Then you also have the longer-term holdings that you can just ride out when we're in these uptrends, and just let them ride, but also learn trading strategies as well, so that you can accumulate more Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever you're into by capitalizing on these swings that can be anywhere from 20 to 60%. Next, I wanted to point out here the 4-hour time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, you can see these really long wicks as well. We had some heavy selling climax volume right here. That was a bearish engulfing candle, and you can see yet again we came down to that 20. So if you had buying or buy orders down in that area, that was a nice spot, and you're in profit already. Now on the stock on the 4 hour, we have cooled down a little bit more. We're at 14 and 17. The RSI is still at 71, and we're having lower highs right now, so losing a little bit of strength up through that area. Now, if we get into the technicals that TradingView will calculate here, I wanted to go to the 1 week time frame like we were just looking at there. So overall summary, 4 sell, 5 neutral. We have a 19 buy. Oscillators, 4 sell, 4 neutral, and a 3 buy. Moving averages, 0 sell, 1 neutral, and a 16 buy. So in my opinion, I would say short term, we're either going to have to consolidate a little bit fairly soon, or we're going to get a little bit of a correction. Longer term, we're extremely bullish, and I'm extremely happy about where we're at in the market right now. The only thing I get nervous about, to be honest with you, is when we start to go straight up in Bitcoin or Ethereum, because I don't want it to be like last market cycle when we just went straight up. It only lasted for 2 weeks to a month or whatever it was, and then boom, we were in that gnarly bear market, and we were just stuck in that for about a year and a half or so. So I want this to be a nice, healthy trend that can continue to gain over the longer term. That's what we're looking for Ethereum. And also I wanted to point out down low, I've had some people ask me about this, that trend crypto trading course that I have down there. The video is about 30 minutes. It's $25 if anyone's interested. I got my email down there. And what it's going to do is go through all the experiences that I've had trading trends in the cryptocurrency space. And I think you'll get a lot from it. So hit me up on that email if you're interested. All you have to do is basically send $25 to one of the 4 addresses I have in the description box, and then show me proof that you sent it, and I will get the video link right out to you, and you can start working on it. And I'd suggest you watch it quite a few times, because these trends, it's the number one thing. Figuring out trends and how they work is the number one thing that's helped me in this space. So if you guys get something from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, watch these areas. God bless you all, my friends. Take care.